Be sure to cook. Hi, welcome to Be Sure to Cook. Before we get started, I want to show you all guys one of the ingredients that I'm using. This is celery stalk, and on the celery stalk, these are leaves that's on these celery stalks that I will be using. I've got some over here that I've already took off, and I'm just adding some of the leaves over here. We're going to be using this in this delicious dish that we're making, and we're going to be making a crab salad. So let's get started. Okay, here's our ingredients that we're going to be chopping up today. We're going to be using a small piece of a red bell pepper, a white onion, a green bell pepper, the celery stalk of the leaf that I told you about, and one strip of celery stalk. So, okay, I've already washed the green bell pepper. I'm just going to tear off a little bit of that. I'm going to clean out these seeds and get started. Okay, I'm going to chop up the green bell pepper and the red bell pepper, and I'm going to do them together. These bell peppers, I want them in a blocks. So I'm going to julienne them. This is called julienne. I'm only going to do a couple of them because the crab salad I'm going to be making, I don't want a lot of vegetables in there, just enough to give us color. Okay. Okay. So if I need any more, I just dice up some more. They all can be together. Sorry. Okay. I'm gonna dice these up. I'm just gonna chop them up. They're not gonna be this big. I'm actually gonna dice them out. I always put them together. I'm gonna dice up all my vegetables. Then I'm gonna dice them all at once. I'm just gonna give them a rough chop for right now, so I can really get in here and run this knife right through these veg. Okay. Then, of course, I'm going to be using an onion. The trick about this onion is I peeled it and I cut it off on one end, turned it around, I cut it off on another end, and then I peeled it. And I'm going to be doing a chopped onion. And I know you all probably thinking, why is she cutting those onions like circle? And she said chop. Because some people like to score their onion, which I don't. And scoring the onion goes this way, all across, turn it around, and going this way, and then they cut and they get blocks. It takes too long. I don't want to do that. I want to do like this. I want to take it, cut it in half. You got half of an onion. You do this. Look what I'm getting, guys. I'm getting diced onions. So it's a very simple thing. I just like, and I'm getting a lot. So I just run my blade through here like so. I'm just rough chopping these. I'm not trying to make these perfect right now because I'm gonna run my blade right through all of these onions. So let's get these together and I'm gonna show you what they look like. Just gonna run my knife over these vegetables. And as you can see, I'm just always have my hand here and it's cuffed to the knife here. And I have my hand on top and I'm just guiding. Don't put your finger through here or nothing. I'm just guiding. I lift it up and I just keep guiding. No matter where I have that knife. And I'm always scraping. Always scrape all your vegetables and get it right on top. Use your hand. Keep your hand away from the blade because you can really cut yourself. And this I kind of like, if you have a food processor, you can do this quickly if you want to. Me, I just enjoy cutting the vegetables and getting them the size that I want. And the more you do this, the smaller this will get. This will get small. It's gonna turn into mush. Believe me, I've done it. I've done it where there's a big pile of juice here and it's just like almost mush. You know, and I use both. I have food processor and a knife, but I just really enjoy doing it because it takes off, you know, if you have any frustration. Yeah, I have frustration. I'm so mad today. You know, I mean, you can just take it out on the vegetables. Or it just makes me think when I'm doing it, it just soothes me. I know it sounds crazy, but I just feel so, and I feel like I'm really doing it homemade, you know, because I really took my time and chopped every vegetable. So when you taste the food, I put my heart in it because I'm over here chopping. So that's why I really like it. So I think these are going to be fine. Make sure you keep your hand away from the blade. Don't do that. I mean, I'm using the back. I'm not using the front, but just don't do it. If you're not used to using a knife, please do not try that. And I shouldn't have did that and showed everybody that I'm being dangerous, but I've been handling stuff like this for years, and believe me, I've been cut. I've had so many cuts in my life. I'm used to it, so I kind of learned. So see, as you see, look at this. See how small these are? These are small pieces in here, you know, and you can just keep on cutting, and you get the smallest one. You can get it the size you want. So when I call it rough chopping, I'm just chopping rough, and then I chop them all together, and then look what I'm getting. I'm getting real small pieces. Small, just a little tiny, you know? Look, here's a pepper, tiny. Here's a green pepper down here. Oh, let me pick it up. That's too small. Hold on. Here's one here. Well, yeah, well, here you go. There's one, you know, I'm just giving some, you know, why cut up one at a time? Cut them all together. They're going in all together. Then I rinse. Okay, I have rinsed the vegetables that I had chopped up. The red bell pepper, the green bell pepper, and the white sweet onion. And now I'm gonna chop up these celery leaves. They're still crunchy. You know, you might wanna, when you're doing your celery leaves, you take them off. You might want to cut them right away when they're fresh, because if they sit out a little, they'll get kind of wilted a little bit. But, you know, these are good. I wanna cut these up. Believe it or not, I rinse these off, and then what I do is when I rinse these off really good, what I do is I put this also inside of my dish. It gives the dish a little bit more flavor. A lot of people don't know to use this, but when you use the celery leaf, it's just a celery, like the celery stick. This is a celery stick I just cut off. And I rinse. I'm gonna, you know, cut this off and clean it up a little bit. And I'm gonna cut this very super thin. But when you use the celery leaf and you chop it up fine, you'll be amazed how your food comes out and how much flavor this leaf really gives you in your food. Okay, as I cleaned up the board and cleaned up my mess, I rinsed off my celery leaves and I put them to the side so they can drain, and we can use those for later. Okay, I rinsed off this celery stick and I got this together, and I like to peel a little bit off here because I just don't like the beginning of this. I know I'm just weird like that. I mean, that's just me. I mean, so, you know, anything that looks not so good, I'm so used to doing this that I want to dispose of, you know? Okay, so I cut off the tip, and I always cut off the back. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut this celery, but guess what? Let's get down in here. I like to cut it super thin. You know what'd be good? If you're not good with a knife, get a food processor, cut it really thin. See this super thin? I like to cut it thin, so it's gonna take me a little bit So let me get this all chopped up super thin, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Okay, this little one here at the end. Okay, so I went ahead and finished up chopping. Now I want to show you, sometimes, that's why I like to strain. I don't like strains on my celery. So I do, but now as you see this? This is just so thin, almost burly. You can almost see through it. You know, so thin, real thin. I like thin. I like celery, but you can do it as thick as you want. I like celery, but I like chopping thin because it just, and I'm just gonna rough cut just a little, not a lot, because I want that crunch in there. And there we go. Okay, let's rinse these and let's start preparing the food. Okay, I am gonna use, this is a half cup. I'm gonna use a half cup of mayonnaise. I'm just taking it out of this jar here. Oh, I'm trying to get it a good measurement for everybody. So this is like a half cup mayonnaise. You know what? I'm gonna use a half cup, and I guess that's half of a half cup. Okay. Into a bowl. Let me get my spatula and get all this mayonnaise out. All right. Okay, so this is a half cup of mayonnaise and half of a half cup. I really do need to get my measurements straight, but I haven't. Okay, so I'm just gonna mix this up into my bowl, and I'm going to use my famous Mrs. Dash blend. That's what I'm using, Mrs. Dash blend. I am sprinkling a little Mrs. Dash blend in here, you know, and I need that little, just a little. This stuff is powerful. Once again, seasoning, salt. I know y'all saying, is this all this lady used? No, it's not. I use way more stuff. I love black crab pepper. So to taste. And once again, I don't want to tell you all, I mean, these ingredients you probably have to use to make this dish. So it is a little seasoned salt because you do need that seasoned salt to give it that flavor. But put a little bit in there. And as you go, let me tell you guys, as you go, you probably want to keep tasting to see if it tastes right to you. But and actually, it is probably pretty much not going to, because this dish you really gonna have to put in the refrigerator for a whole day, the next day, until the next day, and then you're gonna have to eat this. So this is not, let's make it today, let's eat it today. No, it's gonna have to marinate for a whole day. So you're making this ahead of time. Then we're gonna be using some parsley. Yeah, so parsley with some good flavor. You know, shake you some parsley in there. It really is good. And, you know, shake some in there, mix that up. You want that green. Okay, guys. Then, you remember, these are the veggies. Gonna throw your little veggies in there. Not all of this, you know, just eyeball to whatever you want it. I always chop up too much. So I'm gonna throw those veggies in there. Look at that, great veggies. Okay. And then once again, you remember that thin celery that I got? We wanna put some of that in there. Yeah, and I only use just one stick of the celery, cut both ends off, and don't forget, we gotta add the color. Put that in there, ooh, yeah. And it's like a, little salad thing on its own there. Okay, now, remember those wonderful, this is where I rinsed it off. Remember those wonderful leaves? Ooh, pretty pop up. We're just gonna take that, yeah, put that on in there. Okay, and we're gonna mix all of that up there together like so. We got a secret that we're gonna be putting in here. Okay, and that's looking. Okay, now we need to get our main ingredients. I have this in the refrigerator. I didn't want it to sit out because I want to keep this baby cold. And let me get this and show you all. Okay, fresh crab is the best way to go. But you only can find crab at different times where you can get it fresh. You know, sometimes they don't even sell it in the stores or your grocery stores, and I don't know where to go. I need to find a fish marker, or however they call it. You know, excuse me if I said it wrong. And find out where I can get it fresh. But I was just at my regular store and I couldn't find it. So most people don't go for that anyway. They use, ta-da! They use, you know, imitation crab. So, but this is flake-style imitation crab. So that's what I'm going to use. I'm going to use the flake, and I'm going to tell you why I'm going to use the flake. Because the flake makes it like real. You know, crab you pull apart, you know, if you can use the whole, I think they got the legs, but they don't pull apart, don't look like the crab. So it's all stuck together. So what I'm going to do, see, what they mean by flake is it looks like crab. See how they pull it apart? And it's the long pieces of crab. So I'm just gonna stick all this in here and I'm gonna kind of tear it up a little bit. And I want some chunks too, because when you get to stirring it, guess what? I'm gonna use probably 2 packs of this because I got so much in here. See, it all comes together like a, you know, and I just wanna take this and tear this up. Ooh, I'm getting crazy. Okay, and kind of like tear this up. And I'm gonna use 2 packs that I bought. Oh, let me open up this other one. I gotta get my handy cooking scissors out and open up the pack. And this is like really good. Right? Oh, uh-oh. Let's tear this up. Because you want all of this in here like so. And this is good. Okay, let me discard this right quick. Throw this in the garbage. Let me wash up my hands right quick. The best thing about this, guys, is every time you cook, the first thing that I do when I cook is I make dishwater. It's best to know to make dishwater every time you cook. That shows you, well, it don't show me, but it shows me and anybody that's in the kitchen with you that, you know, you're clean about yourself. So always make sure the first thing you do when you walk through the kitchen is wash your hands and make fresh dishwater. So that's your cooking. That's your cooking water. You know, where you cook and you clean. So, and then you wash your hands between everything that you do. If you touch any seafood, raw meat, or whatever, as soon as you finish doing whatever you're doing, you go straight to the sink and wash your hands. You don't want to contaminate anybody. So I'm just gonna mix this up, try to break this up as much as I can, and mix this all together. Get that chunks of crab in here. Oh man, delicious. But like I said, it's not gonna taste good until you get it mixed up for a whole day. Okay, the next thing I'm gonna do has to be 24 hours for this stuff to really set in and marinate, guys. That's what we're looking for, a marinate. Marinate overnight. The next day you'll be like, oh my God, this is thunder. Okay, the next thing we're gonna do is we're using, can you see? Lemon juice. A little lemon juice. Oh my God, you only want a little. Okay, I really do need to get some little measuring cups because actually I've been cooking for years, so I just kind of like eyeball it. Eyeball means, you know, I kind of do it on a whim because I know exactly how to fill what goes in there. But it ain't good for you all, is it? It's good for me, but it ain't good for you. It's like, hey, you know, how much do I put of this in? So I'm using like maybe a teaspoon. I'm using my grandson's, look guys, look, I'm using my grandson's spoon. So I'm just gonna put a little bit in here. You don't want to use too much, you know, just a little bit of that. And I'm just gonna, because a little bit goes a long way, because y'all know that lemon is like, ooh, punching it. You know, just want to use just maybe a little bit, maybe a half of a teaspoon, not a tablespoon. Tablespoon's bigger. A teaspoon. Put that in there. Mix it up well. Oh, look at that. And look at that. And when this sets the next day, and if you want, you can try to break up some. Let me see. Let's break up some of this, because we want to get, you know, it all the way through. So we want to break up a little bit of it. We want chunks, but then we want to spread it out a little bit too. We don't want nobody getting some and getting all the big chunks and leaving you with half of the mixture in here. So, well, all I got is vegetables. No, we want to make sure everybody gets a little bit of everything. All right. And it smells so good. I'm guaranteeing you all gonna like it. There we go. That's our crab salad. Marinate this for 24 hours. Make it ahead of time, and I guarantee you guys, you all gonna like it. Crab salad. Well, this is what we made on our dishes, crab salad today. We put this in the refrigerator, put it in the refrigerator for 24 hours, let it sit. Hey guys, I really thank you all for coming and, you know, joining us today on Be Sure to Cook. I hope you continue to come back and watch another episode. So please join us on Facebook, subscribe to our channel. We really do appreciate it. And we'll be making more to come, so just keep watching. Thank you. Bye.